Pilot, do you allow difficult experiences to slow you down or maybe even stop you from having the life and the business that you deserve? Well, keep listening. I'm Christine Rothwich, and I'm the host of Make It Click. And today, my guest is Helena Demuynck. Did I get that correctly?
Absolutely, Christine.
Helena is a transformation guide for smart, conscious, high achieving women. I'm so glad to have you here today because we're talking about building resilience. And just prior to coming on here, boy, I had to be resilient in technology. And I bounced right back again. And here we are. But anyway, welcome to the show, Helena. This is going to be a great conversation for our listeners. Because well, we women we tend to go down rabbit holes because things get to us, we get overwhelmed, we think we can do it all, but things just aren't going well. We're like, isn't there more? Shouldn't my life be different? um and this is where you come in. You help women to recognize these things and to be able to bounce back. Um, so can you talk a little bit about just resilience, in general, so our audience, we're all on the same page here. Um,
Absolutely, absolutely. First of all, thanks for having me on your show. And you do great work, delivering these information and knowledge and strategies to people that really can use it. In order to get ourselves on the same line in terms of resilience, you could say that resilience is the power, the ability to bounce back, but not only to bounce back, but also to go around things, to refocus, to redirect, to reframe things. It is the ability not to be completely depleted or overwhelmed by things that are happening. Because there's two levels of events. I mean, we have all our outer events. There's the war, there's crisis, people are made redundant. There's so much going on in this world that we feel we have no control. And I have the impression that the last couple of years, these things have, at least in perception, has like amplified. And then there's our inner worlds. There's so many should haves, could haves, must. We have, we take care of our children, of our families, sometimes of our parents, of our teams. We have one, two, sometimes three jobs. There's so many things going on. And it's like, yeah. And so what a lot of people do is they go in protect mode. Yeah, they're like freezing. They go into their reptilian brain and they either fight or they flight or they're paralyzed. And they even if the place where they are is not a good place, they stay stuck there because at least they know that place. And so that's where they are. Yeah.
yeah.
And then, of course, there are other possibilities. There's the possibility to build resilience, to find your inner strength, to find your inner power in order to bounce back or to look at things in a different way, to shift your perspective, to overcome your limiting beliefs, and then to deal with the situation in a way that is sustainable, in a way that it involves growth for you and for your stakeholders, for the people that are involved in the event or in the situation. So does that make sense, Christine? Is that like, I mean, it's not only the definition, but also the concept that I hear giving a little bit more
Yeah,
information about.
yes, that does make sense to me. And I myself have found myself in the last few years of looking more at that aspect of myself. Because I was talking about, like, so many people wake up one day and say, how did I get here? It's like, well, why isn't my life more than this? And kind of was
Mm,
in that same place, but learning. You mentioned limiting beliefs. It's like, we hear these terms and everybody just like, yeah, yeah, we got limiting beliefs, but not realizing you can change that. you
exactly.
you absolutely have the power to shift your
Mm,
limiting beliefs, your negative emotions. And I think people are afraid, though, that if they change too much, that they'll lose their family, maybe, that friends. It's And what can you say about that thought, of people who are afraid to delve into making these changes because of that?
That is absolutely true. I mean, and not only are people afraid for that, sometimes they are right. Because when you change, when you grow, then some people might get into fear. Because if you grow, maybe you won't have time for them anymore, or you might outgrow them. There might be, you might be intellectually or spiritually or whatever level, outgrow them and find your connections elsewhere because you cannot communicate about those topics. So people are scared, and I understand that. I mean, I have people joining me for like a retreat or for a coaching journey, and they tell me my husband is a little bit worried, like, will he get the same woman back? And I said, of course not, because you will get transformed. But it doesn't mean that you cannot do that. I mean, this fear or this worry is his process or her process. So it is about also setting boundaries like, what do I want in my life? Do I want to live my own life? Or do I want to live the life that is designed by others, by my upbringing, by education, by social media, by the system that is in place? That's a very, very important choice. And
Mhm.
not a lot of people make that choice because it takes reflection. It takes, confrontation sometimes. It takes a lot of inner work. It takes a lot of discomfort
Mhm.
because you're going to places and areas that you're not familiar with, that you don't know. And for that, it's always very good to have a coach or a mentor or a really trusted friend that has your back in order to support you and sponsor you. Yeah.
Yeah. And just like having that fear that you might lose people in your life, it could, the opposite can be that, oh my gosh, the people in your life are like, whoa, who is this person? And oh, they're so much better. Maybe they were afraid in the beginning, and then after some time, they're like, wow,
Mm.
you have, you're so much more a part of the family, like you're giving, so much more. But you do have yourself though also. You have
Mm.
found, that right place for you. um so yeah, going into these things, you never know, but we owe it to ourselves as human beings
Yeah,
that if we're in that space of not feeling fulfilled, that we know something is better out there for us, we owe it to ourselves to go
exactly.
there, to go there.
Absolutely.
um,
Absolutely.
Now you use the term, I believe, strategic agility in your work.
Exactly. Yes.
Can you tell
Exactly.
us about that?
Oh, I love to tell you about that. So basically in my work and what I do myself and what I see other people do, but also struggle with sometimes, it is that if we want to create our path in life, it is so important that we have a vision and that we have a mission. We all have heard about finding your purpose and making your legacy and things like that. And you can take it as big as you want, but having a vision on life is extremely important because it will define the relationship you have with yourself. It will define also the relationship you have with others, and it will define the relationship you will have with, call it nature, call it spirit, call it higher self, call it God, whatever. So, having that vision is extremely, extremely important. And so, strategic agility or resilience is building the capacity, building that muscle in order to actualize your vision, in order to self actualize. And so it is like your vision is your compass. And so you build your agility in order to reach your destination. That's why it is strategic. And for that, it is very, very important, first of all, that you look for self validation, that you build self validation. We are too much focused on what other people think of us. You know,
Mm.
we live in a society of judgment. It's fed by social media, but self validation is something that is very, very important, and you can do that by reflecting on your strengths and reflecting on your values. What is really important for you? What is driving you? What makes you, put a stand in the ground? What is it that really triggers you? It could be justice, it can be independence, it can be growth, it can be family. There's so many values. I mean, Google them and make a selection of values that are really, really important for you, and see how they manifest, and see where they do not manifest enough, because that will be a source of frustration, but also of energy loss. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then look for your strengths. We don't do that. Women don't do that. We don't celebrate our successes. We are not aware of our potential and our strengths. So if you are not able to do that on your own, again, find a trusted friend and ask him or her, like, what are my strengths? What do you see in me? Because they might see things, or they might at least be able to give that language that you don't yet have. And own that, own your values, own your strengths, so they, because they will be a compass, they will be your compass to build that strategic agility, and to basically make sure that you can actualize and realize your vision. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, that totally makes sense, Helena. And as you were talking about all this, I'm just, you know, we joke about women taking over the world, but when you think about it's we women who we look at the small things that can mean so much in life, and that's what men don't get. It's like, well, it's such a little
Mhm.
thing, why are you so upset? But it's those little things. And when we can find our resilience, when we can find our vision, wow,
Mhm.
it's going to not just help ourselves, but it's going to help everyone around us, our
Exactly.
communities, and the world.
Absolutely.
And that's, people don't take this serious enough. We live too much on that conscious level of like, well, that's just the way it is, and you go to
Mhm.
work every day and you do your thing, come home, take care of the kids. But there's so much more to us human beings.
Absolutely. We tend to stick in our comfort zone. And if this is your comfort zone, there's where the magic is.
Yeah.
There's where the growth is. It's not in your comfort zone, but because there's so many things going on, we just, we just go in protect mode, and we stay there, and we stay in this rat race, and every day we do the same things, and we don't take the time to ask ourselves, what is it that I'm doing, or what is it that I am thinking? Is this still serving me? So I know this is a lot to cover in this short term, and it's also difficult to do this alone.
Hmm.
It's difficult because you have blind spots, and it is also important that you are supported and that you are sponsored in your exploration. I
Right.
have two coaches. I have accountability calls with three different people, weekly, monthly, periodically, in order to keep myself alert. And those are people that say, hey, Helena, wait a minute, because you were telling me this 2 weeks ago, and then now you say this. How does that, how does it align? Or how does this align with this value of whatever, personal growth, or family, or whatever? So you need somebody to keep you a little bit accountable in a
Mhm.
very mild and kind way, but yet not afraid to uncover and to scratch a little bit.
Yes.
And it's fun, it's fun.
I'm glad you said that about, yeah, not afraid to uncover things. I've
Mm,
seen too many situations where women just want to make the other person feel good and agree with whatever the situation is, whatever
mm,
they're saying, and that is not helping anybody.
exactly. Yeah.
Um, and also the fact of needing that help, needing a coach, needing someone to help guide you, because we we think we know everything. We can't see everything. Not
Mm,
everything comes to us clear, so we need that outside perspective. We need that help in understanding ourselves. uh,
absolutely. Absolutely. It's like reading a book about how to play tennis and think that you can play tennis. And that's not true. You need to be on the gravel. You need to practice. You need your coach that looks at you and say, okay, no, you're doing too much this, or you have to try another thing. And he or she guides you and shows you, because he sees the whole picture that you cannot see.
Mhm.
And it's the same with growing as a person. with
Mhm.
self actualizing. You cannot get this from books. You can create awareness with books, but in order to embody it, to live it, to
Mhm.
implement it, it's so, so good to have some help. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another thing that I know you talk about are our three core power centers, to help us to empower our journey towards the self actualization.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I know a little bit about these things, but what are the three core power centers, and what can you help our audience understand about that?
Well, basically, our three core power centers are first of all the connection that we have with the best version of ourselves. And this requires a guided visualization. I cannot really do that now in this setting, but if you want, Christine, I can send you a meditation for people that want to try this out. But basically it is, you can try just to do this on your own, but it's very, very difficult, especially if you're not used to visualizations. You can connect with the part of you that is the best version of yourself, the
Mhm.
part that is powerful, that is passionate, that is, that is strong, that is standing there for, think of yourself when when you did something extremely creative, when you were in flow. It could be a personal event, it could be a professional event. That part, connecting with that part, and use it as a resource also to build your self validation, if that makes sense. So, this is your first power center. And the second power center that we have is our connection with others, with like minded people. Be careful who you choose in your environment. Yes, because they say that you become the average of the five people closest to you. So be careful. So look and connect really on an authentic level with people that are like minded and that have your back.
Mhm.
And also feel that connection, even if those people are not there physically, but try to feel that connection energetically, because that is also a very, very powerful resource. And the third one is the connection with the universe. The universe has our back.
Mhm.
The universe is organizing around us achieving and self actualizing. And there's no need to have all the answers. There's no, there's abundance. Look at the universe, look at nature, connect with nature. You can physically do that, at least in the weekends. Make a walk in the forest or in the mountains, or on the beach, and connect with nature and see the abundance. And the abundance that is in nature is also present for us. If we go in protect mode, we go in scarcity mode. There's not enough. There's not enough time, there's not enough money, there's not enough experience. If you can open yourself, and when you're in nature, you also breathe deeper, and you open your lungs, and you open your heart, and you open yourself for the abundance that the universe has to give us. That's a very powerful center that we can use. And so those three combined are the ones that we have at our disposal anytime. We can access it always. And it's so good to know that. And as I said, these guided visualizations, I would say, if you want one, connect with me. I'm on LinkedIn. My name is here on the screen. Connect with me on LinkedIn if you want to. And you can see, or you can just ask for the guided meditation, and I will send you the MP3. It's very powerful. It's like a 15-minute meditation. You can use it whenever you want, and once you have like the habit, you can just access it like that, and that's amazing. Yeah.
Mhm. Yes. Well, thank you for that, Helena. I know you have something else for the audience also. What do you have for them?
Absolutely. I have a guide that is called the 5 strategies for building inner resilience, and you can just download it. I think you have the link there. This is the link, absolutely. So you can download it. It will give you like an overview of things that you can do, that you can implement in order to build your inner resilience. It is a muscle. Just be aware
Mhm.
that resilience is something that you build. It's like if you want to run a marathon, you're not saying like, okay, tomorrow I will run that marathon. You will start to run, and build up and build up and build up, and you just take baby steps. And sometimes, because it's never linear, sometimes you will make a big leap and you say, hey, this is where I am already. That's amazing. So build that resilience. It is so important, not only for you but for the people that you are impacting. And that's a lot more than you think, because you are a role model, whether you are realizing it or not, whether you want it or not. You are a role model. People are looking at you. Your children are looking at you, your families, your communities, your teams and organizations. So show up and build that resilience muscle and live the life that you deserve. I only wish that for you. Absolutely. Yeah.
No. Thank you for that, Helena. I do have one last question for you. It's not about resilience. Well, maybe it is. And that
Mhm.
is about you and your business. And is there something that you have found over the years that you can say, oh my goodness, this helped me to really make it click in my business? Is there something that you learned, some process, or, what has helped Helena to make it click in her
What
business?
makes it click and what makes me click is the choice I made to go and live in the middle of nowhere on the top of a mountain. So
Mm.
I am in full nature. And this is absolutely helping me grounding and being present. And so, whatever happens, I mean, life is always, I mean, there's so much disruption, there's so many things unexpected and unpleasant. I go outside and I connect with nature. And so what makes me click is the connection with the universe and with what is surrounding me and with the abundance there. And I invite everybody to do that a lot more, because we are completely disconnected from nature and we don't know anymore how can I say this? How to put ourselves and our problems and our things in the right perspective and in the right proportion. And connection with nature makes that. And I'm living here for 5 years now almost. And I had the place for 10 years already. So I knew what it gave me. And all I could think was, I want to live there, because it allows me to be so present in my business, in my coaching practice with clients, but also for myself, just the connection with neighbors. I'm with nature. I'm looking outside now. I see the olive trees, I see the almond trees, I see the mountains, I see the big rock that I will visit in a couple of minutes together with my dog. Do
Yeah.
that. Connect with nature. Wherever you are, there's a way to do that. And it will absolutely help you in your business. It will
And
help you
and
to
it, it
land.
it helps that your nature is in the south of Spain. So I envy you tremendously. So Helena, thank you so much for being my guest today on Make a Click. This has been a fabulous conversation. I hope that our audience has gained some insight and they connect with you.
Absolutely. You're so welcome, and everybody is absolutely welcome to connect with me. I have the possibility also to have like a complimentary discovery call. If you are looking for support in certain areas and you think that I can help you, feel free to reach out. I am very, very happy to connect. Yeah.
Thank you, Helena.
Thank you.